Hello, students. This week we are going to learn a new sentence type called complex sentences. First, let's review. Simple sentences are the easiest type of sentence that you can write. They just have one subject and one predicate. They begin with a capital letter and end in punctuation. So the subject is the noun, the person, place, or thing that is doing the action, and the predicate is the verb, the action, and then any descriptors that go with it. So the cat meows loudly, the cat is the subject, meows loudly is the predicate. The dog wanted a treat, the dog is the subject, wanted the treat is the predicate. In a sentence like the birds and bugs sing in the tree, even though we have this and here, the birds and bugs are the subject and sing in the tree is the predicate. And that's still a simple sentence because you have a subject and a predicate, and that is it. Last week, we learned about compound sentences. Compound sentences are when you take two simple sentences and you keep them equal to each other with a comma fanboys. A simple sentence can also be called an independent clause because it can still be a sentence all by itself. And we take two of those and connect them with the comma fanboys. The fanboys are for and nor, but or yet so. So we had some examples here. The dog was hungry, the bowl was empty. Those are both independent clauses connected with a comma but. The cat was very cute. The little girl wanted to keep it. Each side can be a simple sentence, so it's an independent clause, and we're connecting them with the comma so. The birds and bugs were flying. The cat watched them. Each side is an independent clause because it could be a simple sentence by itself, and we are connecting it with the comma and. So those are compound sentences. This week, we're going to learn about complex sentences. So for a complex sentence, we're going to start with a different kind of conjunction called an awubis conjunction. Now, there are many awubis conjunctions. They're called subordinating conjunctions because they are in complex sentences. And the common ones spell out awubis. So it's very hard to memorize these because there's a lot more than fanboys. But the ones that we're going to focus on are after, although, when, while, until, because, before, if, and since. So awubis. And we will practice those a lot. So you start with an awubis, you do your simple sentence, comma, and then your other simple sentence. So the pattern here is a little bit different. Now, I will tell you this simple sentence here is still called an independent clause because it's all by itself. This one, because it's attached to the awubis, we call a dependent clause. So sometimes you'll see it called that. So let's look at some examples. Because it was raining, comma, I got wet. We start with one of our awubis words. It was raining is a simple sentence, comma, I got wet. It's a simple sentence. After the game ended, comma, we went home. So we start with this awubis. The game ended is a simple sentence, comma, we went home. Simple sentence. If I am hungry, comma, I will eat a snack. If is one of our awubis words. I am hungry is a simple sentence, comma, I will eat a snack is a simple sentence. So again, the awubis makes this a dependent clause. We have awubis, simple sentence, comma, simple sentence. So that is the pattern we are going to be practicing. So let's do a little bit of practice. We have these two sentences. The kid told a mean joke. The teacher was angry. How could you combine these? Which awubis would you pick, and where does the comma go? If you picked because the kid told a mean joke, comma, the teacher was angry, that's a great choice. This shows a cause and effect relationship, so because is a good awubis to pick, and then we put the comma between those two simple sentences. Let's do another one. It rained yesterday. There was a rainbow. So look at our list of awubis conjunctions. Which one do you want to pick, and where does the comma go? If you wrote after it rained yesterday, comma, there was a rainbow, then that is a really good choice because this shows when this sentence happened in relation to the rainbow. You could also say because it rained yesterday, because the rain caused the rainbow. That would also be perfectly fine. The important thing is that you started with an awubis conjunction and you put a comma between where the two simple sentences are. Let's do one more. I forgot to study, I still got an A+. So look at our list of AWUBIS words. Which one do you want to start with? Where does the comma go? If you said, although I forgot to study, comma, I still got an A+, that is a really good choice. Although is a word that shows contrast. So if you forgot to study, you wouldn't expect to get an A. So this shows a contrast between these two sentences. So it's a really good one to pick. The important thing, though, is that you start with the AWUBIS and that you have a comma in between them. Now, I do need to give you a special note here. This will not show up a whole lot this year, but it could become important in future years when you're writing. If the AWUBIS is in the middle of the sentence, you actually don't need a comma. And this is because that part with the AWUBIS is considered a dependent clause. And if the dependent clause comes at the end, it doesn't need a comma to separate it. That's some fancy grammar rule. But all you need to know is that if your AWUBIS is in the middle, you don't need a comma. So I could say, after it rained, comma, there was a rainbow. Or I could say, there was a rainbow after it rained. And if I put the AWUBIS in the middle, I don't actually need a comma there. Like I said, that won't come up very often this year, but it is good to have just in your mind as a rule. So just again, as we wrap up, here is our summary. When you're writing a complex sentence, you're going to start with that AWUBIS conjunction. Here is the list again: after, although, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. You start with an AWUBIS, simple sentence, comma, simple sentence. Thank you.